All right. Welcome to
Barber Breaks TV. I'm Issa.
I'm Junior, and today
we talking about you guys coming in all fucked up,
yes,
like with haircuts.
No. I mean, no disrespect to any clients whatsoever,
No.
but this is just about the fact that it's countless
Rough times.
barbers, and no one specifically, but countless barbers just messing clients up. This is just unacceptable at this point. It's a continuous thing.
I've seen some horrendous stuff, and that shit scarred me for life.
Bro, no, this isn't a barber getting, no, this isn't someone getting messed up. What happened to the client with the receding hairline that he said he wanted you to, where we were talking for 30 minutes with three people debating whether or not he should go bald, or if we could fix it, or if you could fix it.
Bro, it wasn't even that, bro. So I was about to cut out this dude, right? And, I was kind of excited, because new client, why not, like, you get to meet new people.
No, of course.
But this fool, fucking hairline all the way back to here, bro. I definitely could have busted out a nice-ass fade or some shit, but the guy wanted me to save his hairline, bro.
Pull up the picture. Any barbers watching this right now, you let us know
if you can.
What you would have done, because if it wasn't going bald, it was going bald. That's it. I mean, when I tell you, I have not, in my 6 years of cutting hair, have seen someone's recession at this level thinking they could be saved. I really don't know.
It was 3 of us in the room.
It was me. No, it was me, you, Carlos, and Carlos.
And one of his clients.
And his client was the one trying to help us figure out help him figure out how he was going to break it down to him without making him feel bad. If you're seeing this right now, this isn't personal.
Nothing personal, bro.
This is just us as barbers trying to clarify and get a third perspective on, this monstrosity. Bro, look at that, bro.
God damn. Oh, shit. Oh, hold on. We don't want to expose anybody or nothing like that.
Yeah. Just put it all right there to the camera. Show the camera.
Hold on, camera.
Bro, look at that. I mean, look at it. Like, you can see the vampire,
the vampire fangs,
hairline, bro. I mean, it's not even okay what he was asking at this point, Like, in reality, what could we actually have done to help him, get through this hard time?
And we had plenty of options.
Mind you, this man is like 25 years old.
Something like that. I don't really know. But
he's not even pushing 40. I promise you, when you looked at that, you thought he was 40.
Mm-hmm.
And he had 3 kids and a wife he didn't love. That's what I thought.
But nah. So we came to not the conclusion, but we literally, at least for a whole hour and a half or so, debated on what to do.
Una hora. Hablando. Casi.
You know what we came up with?
Casi una hora. Just bald. They're just bald. I mean, the guy is suffering. Might as well put him out of his misery at this point. Because, come on now.
But who knows, because maybe bald could have changed him up. He could have been.
I mean, as the client was saying, Carlos' client, it could have actually helped him. It could have benefited him in
so many ways.
Exactly.
And all right, let's throw this out there right now, especially for the people that are wondering if their hairline could be saved or anything. If your hairline is pushing back, bro, fucking take that shit off. Why? Because that shit's going to keep you healthy. What's up, my boy? That shit's going to keep you healthy. It's going to... ¿Cómo dijeron? It's gonna prevent a lot of
unwanted mental problems. It's not even physical problems.
Not mental problems.
I mean, yes, because the mental strain from going from having a full set of hair or hairline to not having one, like this guy was probably having.
Thanks.
You don't know what kind of mental problem this stuff does have. Now, mind you, originally this conversation is based on the fact of getting messed up by barbers. So now think about this. In the situation where he goes into a plain old barbershop, let's say he goes to Sports Clip, anywhere doesn't have a reputable reputation of good haircuts. Imagine the low self-esteem that he will be having with not having a good cut. Because we're not the only ones who, on the way home, absolutely regretted ever walking into a barbershop after what they did to our hair. Like, bro. So now imagine that scenario. You already don't have a hairline. Now you're gonna walk into a barbershop thinking you're gonna get one, and now you just got no hairline.
Or
no
your
hair,
hairline's back here or some shit.
and you're just not even happy with the hairline at that point. You just got that. Right. It seems like you got a widow's peak all the way down to your hair, to your eyebrow line right here.
If you were to go into a type of barbershop that has no reputation whatsoever, and you tell them to fix your lineup, I hope you go home and take that shit off, bro.
I really do, and this is coming from a place that ultimately, this is coming from barbers who I've seen this, and I've done this personally myself, where I've had clients, I'm not going to specify who have asked me if I recommend anything that they're even saying. And ultimately, I just say don't. Like, ultimately, you're just going to have to shave that off and admit to the fact that you have a full beard and that's your cap. And most of these guys are at the age range between 20 and 25 years old to 30 years old. And we're not even going into the 40s. You know, these guys are single. No wonder why. These guys are single. And now they're dealing with this at 25, 26, 28 years old. Like, this is just unacceptable. So now you want to look at the fact that it's just like, damn, what can you do to help a guy like that? And I mean, I don't really know where to go from here. Because, I mean, after that, I mean, it just keep the beard and keep doing that. I mean, you know what I mean? Gain some muscle, go to the gym.
Just rock the bald head, dude.
Rock the bald, accept the bald head.
There is nothing wrong with being bald.
Tate.
Facts. Like, look at that fool. Look at the Wayne The Rock Johnson, bro. Does he have a beard? No, he doesn't have a beard.
Bald.
But he's bald, and that fool still looks spiffy, right?
Okay, but he's a millionaire.
Yeah,
he has money.
But look, bro, look at his physique, bro.
Maybe he was more motivated because he had a whole set of hair. Like that one meme where Kevin Hart dressed up as him with his big fro.
With the fucking turtleneck?
Really yeah, with his black turtleneck and his fanny pack. And
literally, bro.
His chain that looked like it came out of a dog's leash.
But then he probably realized one day that his hairline was being pushed back.
And he just took the action to do it. I mean, but you can't be wrong with this guy. I mean, this man's a bodybuilder. You know, he's a movie artist.
Yeah, all that.
All of this. I mean, this also adds to the fact that becoming that is removing, I mean, almost removing who you were and becoming someone new. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, literally.
Because, I mean, he did look built back then, ultimately. He still looked built. But, like, now what? Like, look at them. I mean, apparently he's taking steroids. But, I mean, I know some of you probably know.
Who knows? But remember, only God knows.
Exactly.
But yeah, if you feel like you could have saved this hairline, drop down in the comments below your opinion on that. Okay,
but here's the trick question: would you have been able to save it with no enhancements?
Oof.
Cause I mean, we all know that ultimately, like, it would have been a pushback.
Fuck yeah.
Or if it wasn't a pushback, he was gonna have to acknowledge that he has a receding hairline, and he was gonna need enhancements to, in all honesty, look like a full hairline. Because no amount of hairspray, no amount of like hot towel. Fiber, yes, but like, it's not gonna fill it out by itself. But with enhancements and fibers, yeah. But naturally, Isa, like, that wasn't gonna be. No.
End of the story. That fool never really pulled up. So maybe he just took to action like, he can't do shit about my. Fuck no, what the fuck? I could always do a lineup.
He
just couldn't. He just maybe he wasn't able or wasn't ready to come in and hear the fact that he was gonna go bald or something, you know, or many people get occupied as well. But yeah.
Well, you know, you have regular books, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna open it up real quick. So, you know, since this is our first video, for anybody interested in booking, this is me. That's me, my beautiful face. You know, 231 5-star reviews. You know, you guys need a book. Anyways, this is my boy Isa.
That's Junior. This shit's bothering me.
Look.
Just throw that shit back there.
Look at Isa. Look at Isa.
There we go.
That's good. You know, got the male haircuts. You know, we got 23 5-star reviews.
Yeah, we're climbing up.
He's only a year into this, and he's doing good. You know what I mean? My guy,
barber type shit.
My guy gets me right.
Yeah, I got my boy Junior right today, so
shoot me.
So don't ever doubt that shit. Don't ever doubt a low review or a beginner looking type of profile, because at the end of the day, they could be giving out some clean ass cuts.
But why do you think they doubt them, bro? Because some of these guys sometimes ultimately fake their profiles. You know, they might want to fake, you know, haircuts or something of this matter. And so when someone or a client goes up and obviously books a haircut, they might expect exactly what they're looking at on their portfolio. And what do they get? They get a very and I hope this isn't taken in any wrong way or any personal way, because I'm not throwing this at any barbers. But for any barber, not specifically, that, you know, doesn't commit to proving and giving the services that they promise on their Booksy or any platform to book or word of mouth, I mean, ultimately, you need to reevaluate yourself and know that clients do really think about this. It's a very hard thing for some clients to trust barbers nowadays, because it's such a disappointing experience now that clients have such a hard time trusting experienced barbers, you know? Like, I've been doing this for 6 years, and constantly I meet clients that come in and they're like, bro, like, I don't even know what I want. And they just have me pick. And I have to sit there for almost 30 minutes, and I don't mind it. And sit there and give them tips, help them style their hair, learn what their hair should look like, you know? Like their facial features, how it's going to complement their haircut, and how their haircut complements their facial features, how their beard is. If it's patchy, just admitting that it's patchy, it might grow in, and then just keep a goatee, you know what I mean? I'm not blind to the fact that my beard isn't as full as my boy over here, but, I mean...
We all got some patchy shit.
Exactly.
But do what you can for it to...
You gotta just be honest with yourself. You know, you're not... You know, if you don't have a full beard, you don't have a full beard. And that's not me hating. If you don't have... You know, if you have alopecia and you're trying to get a taper while you got a big-ass mark right here and trying to get a lineup, like, if it's not going to be hitting with enhancements. And I'm talking from experience from a client who does, and even admitted it, you know, he's fine with the enhancements, and he doesn't mind me lining him up and putting a bunch of enhancements on that part. He doesn't mind it. But if he didn't mind it, first, I recommend to get a fade to hide it completely. Or secondly, recommend, okay, we could do this. Maybe I could push the taper a little bit farther. That way we can hide it with the C-cup lineup, and with the lineup around the ear. This will ultimately make it just look a little better, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but every barber has a way of cutting. Every barber has their own understanding of the way that they cut and how they want to cut, you know?
Exactly.
But you can't, unless you're that versatile and that environmentally able to adapt, you can't just be everybody's barber. There's just some people you can't make happy, you know? And it's really not always up to you if you're really trying and if you're really putting yourself out there to want to learn afro hair. You know, you want to learn, you know, the super straight Asian hair that sticks out like porcupine hair. You know, like hair like his, for example, he has the super dark hair that his pores, when you use a shaver, it's hard to see a consistent blend just because it's super dark based, because he can't get it down to the skin, because his pores, or it's not his pores, but his hairs are so thick that you can still see it at the pore. But you can't really blend it. How many barbers have tried to cut your hair? Here? Mm-hmm. At the shop.
I say 4.
Me.
You.
Santi.
No.
Santi never cut your hair?
No.
Okay, me, AB, Hondo had to cut your
hair. Dante cut my hair.
Uh-huh.
Carlos cut my hair. And
fucking, what was his name? Didn't Abe cut your hair once?
Yeah. Abe.
I mean, but
he doesn't work here.
Yeah.
Chile too, he doesn't work here either.
But bro, Chile, bro. This is what we're talking about, bro. I mean, there's just their own styles of cutting, but like, bro, your hairline and me personally, bro, my hairline. Anyways, let's not get into detail. Someone can remember.
But yeah, out of all those people that cut my hair, every one of them tells me that they can't get a nice blend with the little shaver.
It's just, I mean, but it's like he knows that now, so you can't really expect to get a blend. Unlike for me, like when you use the shaver on my hair, obviously mine does go pretty much down to the skin, you know, obviously. But it's only because, you know, my hair is a little bit more different than yours. You know what I mean, bro? And I mean, that's just what it is. But it's lo que nos tocó, you know. You can't choose tener pelo liso y tener pelo muy grueso y que no lo tengas de más de grueso, and then you want it very, very thin, you know? Like, I mean, you can just use the thinning shears, but even then, like, siempre te va a venir creciendo el pelo otra vez. Sorry about that.
But yeah, I mean, when I get a fade now, I usually don't care, you know. I mean, as long as my taper come out clean, I'm cool with that, you know. And I feel like a lot of people, a lot of clients should be happy with that as well. If there's some flaws about your hair, and if the barber can do anything possible to have your fade looking clean as fuck, then be happy, you know.
I mean, it's
because at the
ultimately
end of the day, you have a haircut, bro, and you're looking clean as fuck.
It's ultimately about the fact of the barber you go to as well, because
Facts.
you can't show one barber's work to another barber expecting almost a similar results, unless those two styles
are
almost the same, you know, which is almost very unlikely, you know, because a lot of barbers don't cut the same way. A lot of barbers cut distinctively
different.
Exactly, and people that go to them like their style of cutting, which is why they continue to go to these barbers. You know, my clients come to me for the reasons they come to me and for what I have to offer. Isa's clients go to him for his own reasons and the work that he provides to his clientele. You know, everybody here at Fade Studio with us, they all cut in different ways, and that's what makes a barbershop ultimately. You know, you don't want to keep continuing a single style. You want to expand those styles so you can get a multitude of clientele. You know, everybody's welcome to this barbershop. No one's persecuted here to not come in and to be ashamed of sitting in our chair and any kind of reason, for whatever reason it might be. You know, we're here to work with clientele and to help you guys find and know what to look for in a good barber. You know, the clues you need to identify where you're going to go to find a barber who's going to give you what you want. And the very same question that I've gotten a lot through my clients in personal experiences is, even when my clients go out of state, and mind you, I have more than 1,000 clients right now. On Booksy alone, the clients that I have on there and that I've gotten from there and who come to me, it's the same question. Some of them go out of town and they have such a difficult time going almost anywhere. Like, I got clients that go to Cali a lot to travel for work, go to Texas. And these are places that are almost known for good barbers. And even then, I think it's my own personal experience where they have told me and called me, you know what, man, like, can you help me out with, I found this barber on Booksy, can you tell me if his works, you know, based on the work they see with me, they will compare it to another barber's. And only because they like my work so much that they want to find that again or something as close as that in a different barber. And that's not saying that any barber isn't good or that any barber isn't as good at, like, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that, like, you do want to create a concrete style that's, first of all, good, you know, secondly, very sharp, you know, and the way you make it to be, and just consistent, you know. I find myself with clients as well that and I mean, if you go to my Booksy, you can read all the reviews and you'll be able to find them. But I find myself with the same conversation ultimately with new clients that they want to talk about, I just don't know what to do anymore, you know. For example, like, I have this one client, his name is Manny. I don't think he'll have any problem with me mentioning him on here. But, you know, Manny came in about a year ago, and I've been cutting his hair ever since. And Manny comes in every so often, and he always gets the VIP service. And you want to know why? The first couple of haircuts consisted of him coming in and getting just a haircut and beard. And then from there is when he started evaluating himself and getting VIP services, because he knows what they consist of. And, you know, it's here to be a service that complements my client, you know, that I'm here to serve my client and to give him an optimal experience for what he's paying for. You know, that's just how service-based service, that's how I graded off the service. So with Manny trusting me so often, I always have conversation with him constantly about the fact that he sits in my chair and we're having the conversation about how that he appreciates my work that I give him every time consistently, and I never failed to give that to him. You know what I mean? Because he's on point with me, he respects my time, and all of these things that are a part of it that I continuously think about as well. And I appreciate as a barber and for my client that he respects my time as well, you know, and he's loyal to me. And it's also these aspects that a barber must have as well to give on to his clients, so his clients can build that trust with his barber, you know. Ultimately, we want to have those connections, you know, because it's just, who doesn't want to be, you know, homeboys with the person that they see that often, you know. And
there's nothing wrong with being homeboys with your clients, you feel me? Like,
that's what makes a foundation for a good relationship, you know what I mean, bro?
And if you can't have a cool ass, fire ass, don't touch me, fool. Fire ass, like, friendship type of clientship and barber, whatever, with your client, fool, then there's just something wrong, dog. Like, no offense, but there's something wrong. Cause
I mean, there is, because, I mean, why wouldn't you want to? There's nothing wrong. Look, if you want to go in there and at least be respectful and, you know, do what you, just sit in the chair and get the cut. There's nothing wrong with I really don't have a problem with my client and just enjoying music, getting a haircut, and that's it. If he says, you know, what's up, dazzing me up, it's good, you know, but it's also, you need to show a level of respect ultimately. You know, you want to greet your barber, you want to greet, you know, if there's anybody else around, you know, if they're able to greet you, greet them back with the same respect. Correct. That's what, in a barbershop, I've noticed that in any barbershop that I've gone to, and most of them, you know, sometimes it's kind of like a lack of that. And not always, but in certain times that I've gone, some clients, I don't think they're maybe even comfortable, which is why I feel like it's important to emphasize that it's important for you to be comfortable as a client to want to say, you know, what's up to the other barber next door, you know, maybe find or fond yourself with the other barbers. Because tell me not, you know, Kevin comes in, you know, these are our clients that are not our clients, but our friends that are our clients with are the barbers here, you know.
Like, we have a couple of clients, like, with barbers in my room. They always come in, we can be cutting or something, they always say, what up, dab us up, lo que sea, right? But that's just them, like, being respectful and stuff like that. But sometimes we'll all get into the same conversation, and all of us will be conversating with each other and then just making, like, bonds and connections with the barber, as well as, like, with the other barbers in the room, as well as with the clients in the room, you know. So we're all just building that good foundation and connection of just friendship.
Exactly. And then, you know what I mean, like, for example, Chris, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know, you come in the room almost every Friday, Saturday, and I mean, it's ultimately you and me, and then we're just kind of chilling in there with him, and, you know, it's a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, bro?
Chill, and then we'll talk about some random stuff.
Antonio, bro, Enrique.
Yeah,
you know what
Antonio,
I mean?
Enrique.
Some of Santi's clients, you know what I mean, bro? Like, it's all of these people who come in almost every week. And it's always a welcoming experience, because, look, with these same clients, it seems that, you know, building these connections, it helps you expand yourself a lot, because, you know, it's a respectable thing that you have, a respectable trait that when you come in, other people already know you because of how much respect you hold. You know, mind you, I mean, Antonio, the one we're currently talking about, you know, he's in a group, you know, he's an artist, so obviously him having this trait a part of it, this is as an example of why it's important to have it, because him expanding himself in that way earns him that respect almost everywhere he goes, you know, because he's just known as a friendly person, you know, someone that you can come up to. And, you know, like, maybe all these other artists that may have a very, very, very big ego at times, you know, and then they might disregard you as a person only because maybe you don't hold as big of a picture as he may have. So when you use this same very way, you know, how did we just get from a whole different topic?
Yeah, but that's good, though.
Yeah, but, you know, and I just got to think about that. But it's just like, these are the topics that sometimes need to be mentioned, because it's important to have this in a barbershop. This is what constitutes for a good team. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because working as a team and working almost as a family, you know, it just contributes to a good environment, a friendly environment, a welcoming environment. All of these things that
you didn't see me miss on my eyebrow.
That, you know, make a good barbershop.
Right. Yeah. I mean, and then here at Freedom Mall, like, we focus on teamwork, friendship, kind of building that family type of bond, you know, because I mean we all work together, you know, and we're all on the same boat. We're all just hustling. We're all a whole bunch of young kids, young adults, older adults, just hustling, you know, trying to make a living out of life. But with us, we really important. Like, it's really important to us to have a friendship, have a family type of bond with the clients, as well as.
I thought that was Santi.
And the other barbers. What's up, Santi?
No, it's not him.
Oh.
I thought that was. But, I mean, as he's saying, you know, another thing, you know, we are around older gentlemen, you know, in the barbershop.
You're holding up the line, fool.
For real. Honk at him, fool. Ultimately, bro, it's important to one last thing. It doesn't matter how old you are. We have, you know, in our barbershop, you know what I mean? It's age ranges, you know? Regardless of the age range, it doesn't matter. If you're mature enough to be in an environment with older men who can respect you for being mature enough to know the right from wrong ultimately in the environment you're working in any working area, specifically barbering. You want to remember that it's important. If you're able and you're knowledgeable enough to know this criteria and keep it up to par, you know, you will get respect. You know, you'll be respected in your work, and you have to take it serious as a barber, because as barbers now, some aren't taken very seriously anymore. Some barbers, you know, get very, very bigly mistaken for and not taken serious. And the reason for that is because there's no demeanor that shows respect or calls for it. You know, greeting your clients, being nice to them, you know, being respectful to clients, being respectful to everybody, you know, offering that service that serves you too, not just with money, because it's not always about money either. It's about building those connections to continuously build your own reputation, to have a constant, almost unbreakable reputation, because things go south, you know what I mean? And as long as you have that reputation, nothing will affect you, because you can't almost talk about anybody who has a solid reputation like that. Yeah, don't get me wrong, people talk, but you can't break a reputation that's rock solid. You know, you could try, you might chip a part of it, but it's only gonna make it look better, you know? And I mean, that's what these foundations are important for, you know what I mean? And this also adds on, and the reason that we're talking about this, and Isa will agree with me, why are you smiling? Is about the fact that these traits and everything we mentioned leads to the fact of when a client comes in and he's looking to get right, you know, get a good haircut. These are the things that they might automatically want to look for to trust you and to know that you are confident in your craft and you will get them right. And it shouldn't be it should be I will get them right and I will make you look good, you know what I mean? Because that, at the end of the job, as a barber, that should be your number one priority every time you're cutting hair. You know, don't slack and think that slacking will ever get you the job done better or faster, because it only makes you do more. El huevón trabaja doble. Y como quiera no se lo plebe.
Yeah.
Pero ultimately, with that being said, if you can't get things done right the right way the first time, and not have to contemplate it and not have to explain things about this or that builds a trust for you. And you want to always do that, you know, because you are at work and it's not a place to not be taken serious. You want to always be taken serious, because this game is changing. This industry is worth a lot now. So if you can't learn to play the game and really learn how to do things the right way, you're going to be stuck in the very same place you started 5 years ago. Me and Isa, let's start with you, Isa. From the point that you got here to now, I want you to tell everybody watching this what is actually important from what you learned and how you're applying it right now. And it doesn't have to be anything crazy, but just little things that you know have impacted your work.
Low key, I'm probably sound like a broken record, but I know everybody be saying consistency. And not gonna lie to you, that shit's true, bro.
Yes, it is.
Stay consistent with your work. Stay consistent with your clients, bro. I mean, when I was starting out, bro, you feel me? But I stayed consistent. I put time and effort. Fuck you.
I said we all start like that.
Oh, my bad. I take that back. But like, I just started putting time and effort.
We apologize for screaming. The mic's literally right here when we're screaming.
We apologize for any bad words.
No, I'm kidding.
But, yay, I saw myself put more time, effort. I saw how my cuts started coming out. Like for me, being in this industry for a year and a half now, I know I can still learn a lot more, you know. And I always look up to these fools because they've been cutting longer than me. So I always take notes, mental notes at that of what they're doing and how they work and how they talk to their clients, how they consult, and how they finish everything. Because at the end of the day, you're going to learn that. And then when it comes for you to be, like, your turn to do all that, you're already going to be a pro. You already know what to recommend or what to talk about or anything, you know?
You're ultimately going to have a foundation for yourself.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
You're going to have something to keep going off of and to keep, like he mentioned, it's to continue building yourself, not only yourself, but your brand, not only your brand, but your work, and not only your work, but yourself again. This is all, like, think of it as a circle almost. It always comes back to itself, and it just appreciates, and it's an appreciating asset for yourself. I state it in that way because when I first started, I didn't have this very concrete mentality. I had the mentality of working and working hard, but it was things that I lacked, and I wasn't looking for them to add to my business. One of these things that I really missed out on was the consistent part, you know, because sometimes I would slack, and don't get me wrong, I'm honest about that to myself. But now that I don't, the work from then to now has completely shifted, because now it's every week. I'm consistently booked every week, new clients every week. It's just something to be more proud of every week, you know, and consistently that has always worked out the best for me, you know what I mean? And it continuously helps me grow and grow and grow and grow, and ultimately you just get better that way.
So be consistent with your work. Always put the time and effort in your work. I don't care if you bust a fade out in 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Make it look good. Like you don't know how much I focus on that, you know? Like me, I know I could probably do a fade, taper, whatever, 40, 30 minutes, but I'd rather take my time so it looks beautiful, so I can adore my craft, you know? Because at the end of the day, it's your work, and then people walking around with your work on their head, it's going to be showing, you know?
They're your walking billboard.
Yeah, exactly.
So you got to maintain this always in your mind when you're cutting hair, because they represent you and your work. And if they look at it and they're like, that's a good haircut, they're going to recommend you, and they're going to feel good about it.
Exactly.
And that's when you get more clients.
Boom.
So then, now your reputation is starting to set more in place. With that being said, this is still important for these clients that are looking for barbers to make them look good. This is what you need to have, or else you'll never get these clients to want to trust you, forward them to your family, their friends, anybody that they know. So continuing to show this and to acknowledge this as an important thing to have in your barber career, you just needed to have it. But with that being said,
anything else?
I don't know. I don't think so. But this is
Barber Breaks TV.
And you were tapping in.
We'll see you in the next one.